Welcome back. If you're joining us, this is Breakfast Daily, and we are still on the news review segment. Remember that you can send in your comments via the WhatsApp number on the screen, and do not forget to also put your commentary or thoughts on the comment section. That's if you're watching via Facebook. And do not forget to use the hashtag Breakfast Daily via Facebook or X, which was formerly Twitter. And now it's time for us to get into the second story. 13 candidates qualify for presidential race. Obviously, the upcoming 2024 general elections have officially confirmed 13 candidates vying for the presidency. Well, the broad spectrum of candidates actually highlights diversity of the political thoughts in Ghana. And however, this crowded field also risks diluting the voter base, making it more difficult for a single candidate to secure the majority probably in the first round. Now, with the candidates qualifying for the presidential race, how does the NDC actually intend to differentiate itself from the crowd? I mean, 13 people, that's a lot.
Oh, yes. But you see, history will tell you the number of candidates we've been having. Most of the minority parties and the independent candidates, they don't even cross 3%. They don't get it. They don't get 3%. So it is a perennial thing. They always get there. I think that they get there to be able to also be recognized and see that you are one of the politicians or people, the voices that have to be reckoned with. So for me, that is how I see it more. But then, yes, it doesn't mean that we'll have to rest on our oars.
Right.
I think there are a lot of polls, a lot of things that suggest, that says that the NDC is winning. We are winning.
Right.
Yes. But so that energizes us to do more. We don't just take it and lie down and say, because we know our opponent, the people we are wrestling power with. We know how they are. We know them. And, you know, these are not people that would want to give things peacefully or give to you until they see that it is clear, it is landslide, it is something that they know that they cannot contest anywhere. So that is the pitch at which we are working towards. We are working to make sure that we have a massive victory, a landslide, and the polls are suggesting that, yes, things are going the way we want. And, you know, for us as NDC, the 13 candidates, our main opponent in this election is Dr. Alhaji Bawu Mamia.
I was going to ask you that. So
yes,
in the 13, it's just one that you're worried about?
It's just one that we know that, look, yes, in spite of all that they are doing, he's pushing. And yes, we recognize that he's our opponent. We recognize what they are doing and they are trying to do. And we also have to find the antithesis of it so that we'll be able to match them. And at the end of the day, the victory that the Ghanaians want, we have it. We'll be able to reset, we'll rescue the nation and put things back on the clean health split that we do it. So I'm not really scared about it. It is only, I know, few of their hotbeds that is in the Ashanti region. The polls also suggest they are deeping. They are deeping there. It will definitely happen because the Ashanti region feels that.
Where are you getting these polls from?
I wanted to ask the same thing.
Oh, the polls, even their own office of the president. We have the EI polls. We have the SML. Is it SML? One of them. We have the polls. No, we have several polls, and even the party itself. The party itself also conduct. It's just that the party doesn't come out to tell you that this is the poll. But the party, when we conduct the polls, it tells us where is our weakness, where is our strength, how do we harness those weaknesses. So within us, as a party, we know where the loopholes are. We know where are the swing constituencies that with the minimal effort put in, we can. We know where they are also losing, although they are strongholds, they are losing their seats. And for now, we know about almost 4 of their constituency, their MPs are going for independent. They are being talked out, you know. So we know some of these things that when we look at, we don't come public and say it. It's just that, so when you watch critically, our election director, election directorate, they don't really come to speak.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a communication that talks about our strategies, what we want to do. That's the communication. So if you watch it, you see that we are on point. And that explains the reason why we have been able to match the EC when it comes to some of the figures. We see some of the anomalies. We alert them and tell them that this should be the figure.
Right.
It's not this
and
figure.
not that.
So I think I'm very, very confident that come December, it is the time for the NDC. And I think, you know, God being so good, we took the number 8 to end the 8 they want to break.
To put a stop to it.
We put a stop to it. We are putting a stop to that 8. They cannot break that 8.
It's broken already.
Yes, so that is why we put a stop to there, and we will come.
So Ibrahim, what are your thoughts on this?
Chris, you asked him a pertinent question.
Yeah.
How are you going to distinguish yourself, your party, and your candidate from us? In his submission for the last 2-3 minutes, not one mention of policy did Victor offer. He talked about landslide, polls. You did polls in 2016 and Ghanaians beat you. You did polls in 2020 and Ghanaians beat you. So where your polls are coming from, and this fallacy about the office, I'm from the office of the president. There is nothing coming from the office of the president. If you've gone home last night and dreamt about it, that's your own nightmare. There's no coming from the office of the president. What kind of polls are you talking about? We know the polls that you did previously. Remember, John 3 is coming, if you remember. Because he picked number 3. John 3 is coming. And what happened? John was sent home. Coming now to the issue, what's going to distinguish the NPP from the NDC? It's clear. And there was a litmus test not less than 5-6 months ago. What's that litmus test? We had the district assembly elections nationwide, and though it's not on partisan basis, Chris, we know each other. And what happened in that election? Yes, you'll have some areas where NDC known candidates won, but nationally, as a whole, the NPP candidates, though you don't say I'm an NPP assemblyman or woman, beat the NDC hands down. You know it.
Where?
Just tell me one, nationally. I'm coming, let me land. Secondly, what are we doing to distinguish ourselves? Over 2 million jobs have been created. Now we're looking to do what? Making sure that the policies that have opened up the economy for Ghanaians, increased standard of living. It may come to me and say, oh, but Ibrahim J, what about the exchange rate? True. Between 2012 and 2016, the cedi depreciated under you by 249%, the depreciation. Between 2017 and 2022, that one was just 28%, 28.9%. Why am I giving references here? Because you're talking about the economy, and that's the issue that matters to Ghanaians, Victor. And I'm surprised that in your 3 minutes, you made no reference to it. I remember when we were in opposition, Chris, 2 years prior to the election, so from 2014 to 2016, we came out with policies in terms of our manifesto. 1 district, 1 factory, 1 warehouse, 1 constituency. You had 1 village, 1 dam.
Yeah.
1 constituency, $1 million. Okay? And we made, and of course, free secondary high school education. Up to date, 5.8 million Ghanaians whose destinies under you would have been suffocated are now properly what? Educated, receiving education, and improving their destinies because of the New Patriotic Party. And Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is leveraging upon that to do what? Creating that digital space whereby we create now 1 million jobs within the IT superstructure. That is what's determining or distinguishing our policies under His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and John Dramani Mahama. You're looking at doing what? Making sure that you create affordable housing. Looking at doing what? Making sure that those who do not have the wherewithal to actually, because normally what we do, we say housing, shelter, and food. Am I right? We made sure that planting for food and jobs, rearing animals for agriculture, and affordable housing are key anchors within our manifesto policies from 2016, 2020 now. And Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is leveraging upon that. You have the National Rental Assistance. Over 1,600 beneficiaries have benefited from that. And we want to expand that because you want to make sure that you give Ghanaians that space to also develop and achieve. Now, if you have to find 2 years' worth of what? Rent deposit, all other areas of your life are put on hold because where are you going to get that money?
Yeah.
So government has come into that intervention. Somebody, Chris, will say, oh, by Ibrahim, it's only 1,600 that you've done so far. When we introduced LEAP, Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty, we started over just 200 beneficiaries, 200. And they were poo-pooing it, NDC, that this is nonsense. Today, over 40,000 beneficiaries, because we recognize that it's important to give somebody a hand up as opposed to a hand out. So these are the things that we're doing to actually distinguish ourselves. Now, you mentioned that there's a wind of change. There's no wind of change, Victor. Oh, I want you to really wake up and understand. There's no wind of change. You know when you're cooking on the stove, you use papan, you know papan?
Yeah.
Obahu. Yeah.
When you use charcoal.
Charcoal. Obahu. Yeah? To do what? Create that breeze of energy, effervescence, ingenuity. And that's what we're doing. So if there's a breeze of change, it's a breeze for an upgrade, a breeze for continuation and upscaling of what the NPP under Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is offering to the Ghanaians. It's saying bold solutions. You know, they poo-pooed the gold for oil program, but look how it's managed to now stabilize the economy. You have gold, which is your store of wealth. And they were saying, why are we doing this? It's like you have $1 billion in the bank, Chris, and a relative of yours wants to go to school. You say, well, let me look for money. Meanwhile, you have the money to send them. And so we're using the gold for oil, which is now stabilize the ceding exchange rate. These are the distinguishing factors, that you have a government ready to make sure that we resource the people, provide the infrastructure. Over, 12,000 kilometers of additional road networks have been improved. The railway network, that we've established on the eastern and the western, the Tema-Makpakadan Railway, is now working, making sure that we bring Ghana into a new era of transportation. Again, you've got the anchors within our economy. You have the GEDEC and GISDEC, the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation, and the Ghana Integrated Alumina. These are anchors making sure that we expand certain things, add value, so that now we can now have proper value addition to Valco and other smelters. You're making sure now that, again, recently, I think last week or so, the bitumen factory, working with Côte d'Ivoire, is now operational within Ghana. Yeah. So you're looking at strong economic anchors upon which is what pinned is the education. I remember when they said free SHS was 419. Do you know what they called it? On page 29, 82 of the 2016 manifesto, they called it progressively free education. And what do they mean by progressively free? They cited giving sandals, kotoka, as the free element of that progressively free. And then school uniform as the free. That's what they said. It's on their page. Google it right now, page 86 or so of the 2016 manifesto. And they said that the free SHS is a scam. Now you've done an about turn, saying that now you're for it. If you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. And Ghanaians won't go for that kind of, let's say, political DNA that the NDC are offering. Because in my submission here now, Victor, I've given you policy, innovation, intuition, and a clear path for progress that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is giving Ghanaians. In your submission, nothing. Landslide.
Please, let me.
So understand that we're on course. Ghanaians are voting for NPP.
Your question was about the EC and the position.
And the numbers, yeah.
I don't think it was about the policies. But you see, if you have to be policies, let me just give you a few. He has mentioned a lot of policies.
So just give us
yes, let me just give you a few, right, about what the NDC has always said. There are numerous. We are talking about the Women Bank, the Women Development Bank, that would go to every crook and cranny to help our mothers and our children, even in the markets, which I think the women are so excited about it. We've talked about the stress-free tertiary education. The first year you go, while you have to pay admissions, it's something that we have spoken about. We have spoken about hospitals, teaching hospitals to be built in all regions. I don't know the hospital they have built tonight. They talked about Agenda 111 till date. We have not even seen some of the Agenda 111. You've seen the structures. You see, I didn't want to go to the policies. They talked about 1 million, one constituency. You see, this is a government of con men, scam. They con us that they will give us 1 million since they ever came. Have you seen 1 million?
It's that.
No constituency had been given. What they created, they said special initiative. That special initiative, they used all the money, right, for, they said the ambulance and the rest. Then they come and tell us that that is the 1 million they were talking about. Have you seen the villages, one village, one dam? Look, it's a dugout. You don't see it. And you see, what happens is, when he says Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who was the vice president and also led the Palugu Dam, you paid 12 million Ghana cedis for no work done. Even your own people, you can con them, you can deceive them. You see, I didn't want to go. You've conned them and Palugu till date. There's nothing. Nothing. A son of that soil will do this to his own people. And you want him to be trusted? This is a government who told us, the president, who told us that there will be no haircut for our own citizens, for the bonds and the rest. He said it, national television, not once, not twice. We will be no haircut. We were going through haircut. Where was he? He was lost. He never uttered a word when we were going through the haircut. Then his minister, of finance, the foreign minister, comes and says, oh, we are proud people. We will never go to IMF. When the people have diagnosed the problem and say that the earlier, the better we go. We will not have been in this ditch. He said, we are proud people. I will not go. And you see, they were borrowing. Not genuinely borrowing for the country. He was borrowing because his data bank were book runners. And every time you borrow, percentage goes to them. You see, this is a government that they make you feel that they are genuine, they are assisting you, but beneath it, the intention beneath it is to con you. So if I look at this, and now he goes, you see, it's unfortunate that most of the things he has said, Dr. Bawumia has said, at the end of the day, has turned to the contrary. That is why people will say, this man is a liar. Are you getting it? That is not being truthful, because most of the things he has said. And now you are saying that when you come, what you have seen with your government, which you have been part of, that they are not good, you are going to change it. What stops you from changing it now? If really your boss had seen that, yes, I can say it's only a fool who doesn't change his mind. Your boss felt it was well-intentioned for the nation and it did not go well. Why don't you demonstrate now for the people to see that, look, I said the e-levy, those days I thought it was good. It's no more good, so I will abolish it. Good. Why do you say we should vote for you? When you have conned us about 1 million, about one village, one dam. Look, you see, anytime they are talking about the free HSS, they think that we should have a debate on the free HSS. Listen, there had never been. We had all agreed in principle that there should be free education, SS. It is in the Article 25 of the 1992 Constitution. It is the way, the strategy we go about it. That is why we started the free, progressively free. That was how the genesis of the E-blocks, the community secondary schools, their students were not paying. Some were free. We started the pilot. That is how it started. But their difference is that when they came, they were bold and said that, look, let's do it. That's why we've had challenges.
Right.
We've had challenges because a lot of money has to go.
So you would
That's
say
why you introduce.
So you would say it's the NDC's initiative, but they had to they pushed it.
It's something that has been, listen, it's something that has been in the constitution right from day one, 1992. And every government has been able. Those are the genesis why we had the GET Fund. The GET Fund. Because it was an issue, the students were saying that, look, the Article 25 says that there should be free and progressively education, even to the tertiary. That was where demonstrations and other things were coming. We had to call all the experts, the consultants. That was how GET Fund was formed. That was in 1996. 1996. So it is not true that it is only the free HS when Nana Akufo-Addo came and his administration that they piloted it. And then why should we? Because we knew that the deficit, when it comes to, that was why the E-blocks and GET Fund was now given the mandate to provide infrastructure for the schools.
Okay.
So we're looking at the infrastructure. Yes, they've been bold, they took it. That's why we are saying that, look, even our own manifesto, our policies, our flag bearer said, look, nobody is going to cancel free HS. It has come to stay. But we will need to improve so that we won't have the, now I don't even know the first track, first year, second year, third year, the tracks they go. I can't even understand. I called my nephew yesterday. I was asking him that, when are you going to go to school? I didn't really understand the thing. So this is how we are saying that,
so
yes.
It's a work in progress.
Yes, we are not saying that you have not done anything. I would be a liar to say that this Nanado Bawumia government haven't done anything. We are saying that what you made us to expect, that this is the level, this is the standard by which you are going to take us, you have fallen below that standard.
Chris.
And once you are falling below that standard, you've not demonstrated that
Chris.
you'll be able. So if about the policies,
sure.
if about the policies,
you
you
have 1 minute.
I have
You have
so
1
many
minute.
policies here.
Chris,
Chris.
Victor,
We said we are building
Victor, let's allow
investments.
him.
Have they built any universities?
Victor, let's allow
Universities
him.
in all the
One.
regions.
Chris, the litmus test of any education policy is how well the students do. Am I right?
Right.
Good.
Oh.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Look at the rates of our pass rates under the NDC. They may point to 2012, okay, when we shot up in terms of the percentage pass rate, 39.1%. It was because President Kufuor introduced the 4-year cycle, which they were against. So between 2008 and 2012, when those students then took the exams, you saw it shoot up from 23.1% to 39% because of the investment that MPP had done. Now you talk about even presently, WASSCE examinations. As of last year, the top 3 in terms of the whole of West Africa were from Ghana. Don't shake your head, Victor, it's true.
It has never happened before.
Oh,
it has
never happened before. The top 3. So you look at Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso. All the top 3 were all Ghanaian students because of the investment. You talk about E-blocks. It is an ill-thought-out program that you did. Knee-jerk. In the bush. Who is going to go to the bush? Listen, just like your 24-hour economy. Ill-thought-out, unprepared. Yes. You put in the bush, and then we had to come and resurrect it. FQ, free, compulsory, universal, basic education.
Yes.
Was when? 2002. President Kufuor introduced it. You go to Hansard. Don't shake your head and argue with me. Some of us, we do our debating very well. We prepare before we come on the show.
Definitely.
And you know that. So go and check what NDC people or parliamentarians were against free, compulsory, universal basic education.
Right.
FQ. So understand that when you're talking about a government committed to the people, that's the New Patriots Party.
Right.
And you talk about liars.
We have to go
There's
now.
only one liar.
I didn't say like
I'm coming.
That's a con man.
We have to go
Wherever
now.
you put it,
You know,
I'm coming,
yes.
Chris. I'll land.
Naga said
I'll land.
he didn't know they were
I'm going to
con men
land in the
government.
next 10 seconds, Chris.
Yeah.
Ghanaians know fully and well, in terms of which era, in which, as a whole, we have improved our livelihoods. And it's under the MPP. And they'll get it again with Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia post-2024.
All right. On that note,
Inshallah.
thank you so much. It was nice having you on the show. It's been a very interesting conversation. And thank you for also joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking to Ibrahim Ejay, who is the Assistant Secretary at the Office of the President, and Victor Kojoga Adawudu, who's a member of the NDC Legal and Communications team. Let's take a quick break, and Breakfast Daily will be back with more. So sit back and relax. We'll be back.